Coming up this week, RFK Jr. is an absolute idiot. Trump's first 100 days in office have been absolute chaos. A spoiler-free review for Ryan Coogler Centers, and we'll touch on all the madness that is the NBA playoffs. We'll get into all this and more, so please stop what you're doing. You are now tuned in to The Large Picture. Let's go! Welcome, and thank you all for tuning in to another episode of The Large Picture with Javon Berry. Please give yourself a round of applause. That's right.
But I'm just trying to give you the large picture.
As always, man, we appreciate you tuning in to the show, checking out the show, giving your time and energy to see what we're talking about. If you see the show anywhere, please like, share, subscribe, get it out there as we try to grow our base and get the algorithm, the information it needs for people out there to start getting some better information, because it's a hell of a lot of misinformation out there, man. It's ridiculous, to say the least, right now. The amount of misinformation in the streets of social media, but in the streets too, in the actual streets, everywhere. Going barbershops, I hear misinformation. Go to restaurants, I hear misinformation. Turn on the news, hear information, misinformation. Scroll on social media, I hear a hell of a lot of misinformation, right? There may be no bigger proponent of misinformation. Yeah, one of the leading voices in misinformation is, unfortunately, the director of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yes, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who ran for president, got nominated to Trump's cabinet to be the sole advisor of all health-related issues to the president in the White House. Don't know how he got this position. Well, I'm lying to you. I do know how he got this position, because he pledged unwavering loyalty to the president, right? It's not like he's qualified. It's not like he's, done years of research or, has published dozens of peer-reviewed articles on certain subjects where he can speak about things that impact us from a health and human services standpoint. No, he just pledged his loyalty to the president and got a very, very powerful, high-ranking, and influential position in this cabinet. But make no mistake, RFK Jr. is not some medical professional. He has not done the work to be deemed as such. He hasn't provided facts and research and like I said, and studies and things of that nature. He's done none of that. None of that. Actually, he's done the opposite. RFK Jr., if not anything, is a devout conspiracy theorist that presents pseudoscience as a contrarian viewpoint, right? A lot of people say, oh, this is just his opinion. No. This is harmful. So you say, Vaughn, well, what are you talking about? What is so harmful that the Director of Health and Human Services is doing? What is he doing? What is he doing, Vaughn, that's so harmful? Let's take a quick listen to his comments about children with autism, and then we'll get back into it.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
Now, I just want to say unequivocally, sternly, and with absolute fact, what you heard from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. right there is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Several public health officials, several real doctors, real people who have studied, have came out to refute these very claims that you hear right there. Dr. Tina Tan, president of the Infectious Diseases Society of America, says decades of research and hundreds of carefully designed and scientifically sound studies show no links or association between vaccines and autism. Dr. Susan Cressley, president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, devoting more research dollars to answer a question that is already known does not add to our knowledge about our safety of vaccines.
This is an individual tragedy as well.
That started playing again. It does a disservice to individuals with autism and their families by diverting funding that is needed to learn more about autism and how we can strengthen supportive communities. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a devout conspiracy theorist, is going on large public platforms spouting conspiracy theories that hurt people. Namely, in this instance, people, children, adults, whoever, that have been diagnosed with autism. He's painting them as there's some kind of burden, just some kind of brain injury or disease that just needs to be corrected, and everything will be fine, right? Dr. Ashish Jha, former White House COVID-19 response coordinator, labeled the CDC's new studies on vaccines and autism at the behest of RFK Jr. as nonsense and a total waste of money, warning it could reinforce anti-vaccine sentiments. And we've seen a lot of that during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of anti-vax rhetoric, a lot spearheaded by the current Health and Human Services Director, right? We're at a point in our country where, for whatever reason, we choose to reject science. It makes no sense to me whatsoever that we can have decades and decades and decades of research and studies. Hey, we came to this, we learned this has changed. We know now that this causes this. Hey, if you take this, it can prevent this, right? And I'm not saying everything is perfect. We know everything isn't perfect, but we should work each day to get it better, right? Until we can get to as close as perfect as possible. But when you appoint someone who throws all of that out the window, no regard for how children feel hearing these statements from somebody in such a powerful position, none of that. It really is baffling to me. More autism advocacy groups responded. The Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, ASAN, condemned Kennedy's portrayal of autism as a preventable disease, arguing that seeking a cure implies a desire to change the core identities of autistic individuals. This is not a pill that you can take that will help you with your neurodivergence. This is something that certain individuals are born with, and we as a society need to study more, not divert funds from, but study more to have a better understanding of what exactly autism is and how we can help people who are diagnosed with it, right? Kennedy didn't stop there about, just autism. Let's hear him go on about how a lot of stuff probably shouldn't exist because he didn't hear it growing up as a child. Let's go.
And these are a broad category, the ones that Marty mentioned, like ADHD, the neurological disorders, ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, tics, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, and autism. All of these are injuries that I never heard of when I was a kid. They were not part of the nomenclature. They weren't part of the dialogue. There was zero spent in this country treating chronic disease when my uncle was president. Today it's about $1.8 trillion annually. It's bankrupting our nation. 74% of American kids cannot qualify for military service. Oh, how are we going to maintain our global leadership with such a sick population? We have all these autoimmune diseases, these exotic diseases, and again, I never heard of juvenile diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Crohn's disease, and 100 others that were just unknown when I was a kid.
I honestly, I am not sure where to begin. I started this segment by saying, and trust me, I don't find joy in saying this, but I started this segment by saying that RFK Jr. is an absolute idiot because I believe he is. RFK Jr. believes that if he didn't hear about some type of neurodivergence or whatever, if he didn't hear about it growing up, it doesn't exist. Oh, we didn't know about this growing up. Completely disregarding that maybe we're finding more about this because we're investing money into research, right? It says the reason why we know how many that we know there are tens of thousands of different planets across the universe that we maybe didn't know 60 years ago. We spend money in NASA, we do research, we start finding more shit out. So if we're spending medical dollars into researching autism and trying to determine how to better help people with it, we're going to find more stuff. It just happens, right? Same thing with any type of research, cancer research, diabetes research. We're going to find more things, but Kennedy said, like, I didn't hear about Tourette's when I grew up. I didn't hear about narcolepsy, ADHD. Tourette's was discovered in 1865, narcolepsy in 1877. Autism was first identified in 1943, and ADHD was identified in 1902. So unless RFK is a vampire who has been alive for thousands of years, these all existed when you were a child. Whether you knew or not isn't the issue. Whether you were smart enough to find the information out isn't the issue. These things are real, affecting people every day. And I'm going to be honest with you. Hearing these comments, specifically about autism, kind of pissed me off. I have a godson who I love very, very much who is on the spectrum. Beautiful kid. And he works hard every day to be the best little boy he can be. He works with his mom. He's in therapy. And he's progressing so much. So when you hear statements like this, like these children are a burden, it frustrates you. It frustrates me. And it should frustrate everybody, right? Danny Bowman, star of Netflix Love on the Spectrum, refuted Kennedy's claims that people with autism destroy families and will never pay taxes or go on a date, highlighting her own achievements. I have a job. I do pay taxes. I've dated. I have a master's degree. James B. Jones, another star of Love on the Spectrum, calls Kennedy's remarks extremely ignorant and downright offensive, emphasizing that such views contribute to stigmatization. Dr. Peter Holtz, co-director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital, expressed concerns that Kennedy's rhetoric stigmatizes children with autism. The way RFK Jr. talks about kids on the autism spectrum, he treats them like mental defectives, so that will stigmatize both kids and families with autism. You're saying it like these kids are broken. You're saying it like these kids are causing harm. This is everyday life shit that some people are born with, and it should be the job of society. It should be the job. Listen to me when I say this. It should be the job of society to help those who need a little more help. What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck is up with this administration? The shit is dumb. He's saying I didn't hear all these numbers are coming everywhere. Yes, because we're researching, we're testing for it now. It was like at the height of the pandemic when the numbers were all through the roof and it was all over the numbers. And this many people have cases and this many people have died. You know what the president said? Stop reporting the numbers. If you don't report them, the numbers will go down. What the fuck are we talking about? Not the people still dealing with the shit are still having it. You just want to talk about it because it doesn't fit into this nice little neat box, right? It doesn't fit into this nice box of, hey, this is what a person should do. This is what a person should look like. It's starting to get really fucking weird, bro. The man wants to create an autism database. You tell me, people who are smarter than me, tell me when you hear that somebody wants to create an autism database to monitor folks with autism. What did that sound like to you? That's like a stone throw away from eugenics, right? Right? I mean, are we getting close to Nazi Germany? What the fuck are we doing? Why are we Robert F. Kennedy Jr. should not be in the position that he's in. Nobody should take anything that he says seriously. Nothing. Nobody should take anything that he says seriously. There are plenty of doctors that you can go to that can help you understand some of this stuff more. We don't have to create conspiracies around it. Right? We don't have to create conspiracies for stuff that we study and have facts for. Robert Kennedy Jr. said that COVID-19 was designed to specifically target Black and Caucasian people. What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we really talking about? And I sometimes I feel like I live in a parallel universe listening to a lot of this shit, because why is this being pushed on podcasts and the news and social media? Why is this even, why? RFK Jr. said that Black people shouldn't get the same vaccine schedule as white people because he believes that Black bodies deal with diseases and sicknesses better than white bodies. I don't know what the fuck that means. Right? But we've heard that before, right? You talk to anybody Black who experienced, had to go to the hospital or experienced some kind of health services, and this disparity between white patients and Black patients, that reconfirms that. It's racism tied to that shit, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It is very hurtful, very harmful. And like I said, the most disturbing thing is probably just the platforms that are given, because it's just misinformation. So if he's popping up on Joe Rogan's podcast and he's talking about, hey, vaccines are linked to this, and they ask him to explain it, and he says, I'm kind of out of my wheelhouse there, then what the fuck are you talking about? Because you're getting on a platform that pushes out to tens of millions of viewers, spreading bullshit, presenting it as an alternative viewpoint when it's really just pseudoscience. It's bullshit science, right? Please do not listen to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Director of Human and Health Services for the United States of America. Please listen to your doctors. Listen to someone credible. Do not listen to him because he is an absolute idiot. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll get right back into it. This is The Large Picture.
I'm just trying to give them the large picture.
Now, we can't continue to keep talking about RFK without discussing the man who put him in charge, the man who gave him that position, current president of the United States, so crazy to fucking say, Donald Trump. Donald Trump recently had his 100-day mark in office, right? It's a mark that is used to measure a president's, first few months, see what they're doing. It's something that we've done for every president. This first 100 days, however, have been unlike anything I've ever seen in recent memory, especially since I've been paying attention to politics. Whether it's the federal jobs cut, people losing a lot of jobs, whether it's the up and down with the stock market, the tariffs, that is still a major problem. So much so that we might be seeing empty shelves. And what is it, May? We might be seeing empty shelves definitely by the end of the month. The trucking demand is going down. Executive orders against civil liberties and protests. Deporting U.S. citizens to prisons in El Salvador. This first 100 days have been absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. But I differ from some in saying that this isn't randomness. This isn't all over the place. This is calculated. It's authoritative. It's authoritarian. It's calculated. It's done by design. It's a way for him and his administration to consolidate power. But it's been absolutely chaotic. It's been bad. So much so that Donald Trump currently has the lowest approval rating by a president in their first 100 days ever. Lowest approval rating by a president in their first 100 days ever. That means the people who voted for you don't even support what you're doing. People are afraid of losing jobs. People have already lost jobs. People are afraid for their 401ks. Some have already seen losses in their 401ks. People, even recently, I think it was it this morning or yesterday I read the article where he said he's going to put a tariff on foreign films. All films need to be made here. I said Netflix stock plummeting. So if you invested in Netflix, you just lost money off of some shit that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like I said in the last episode, he doesn't understand trade deficit. He doesn't understand the need to take something from another country that we don't have here if they produce it at a great level where they are. Right? There are plenty of fruits and other food that we don't have here, especially seasonally, depending on the part of the country that you live in, that we import from other places. Right? It just doesn't make sense. But yes, the first 100 days have been absolutely chaotic. Like I said, he has the lowest approval rating of any president in their first 100 days ever. But you wouldn't know that. You would not know that by listening to his administration. Check this out.
He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President, it's been an honor to be part of it for the past 100 days.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, the world experienced a total lack of zero leadership under Biden. And then we've had 100 days of your leadership with respect, with strength.
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country, ever. Ever. Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
President Trump, in your first term when I had a chance to work with you as governor, you were courageous. The thing that's empowering this amazing group of people around this table, and you've probably assembled the greatest cabinet ever, is that this time you're not just courageous, you're actually fearless.
They met with the president to more or less kiss his ass. I don't. What kind of weird dictator North Korea style meeting was this? Go around the room and tell him things that he likes. This administration is a fucking joke, bro. It is. It is an absolute joke. What are they saying? What are they? People have lost tons of money. People are concerned about the future. Shelves are probably going to be empty in the next month or so. Trucking demand is down. Like I said, what is so great about these 100 days? Besides us paying more. We have to pay more for things now. This administration is very, very bizarre, man. It's like they don't want democracy at all. They do not want democracy at all. And it's very, very concerning that the last time Trump was able to be stopped because people in his cabinet did the honorable thing. Now, they might have uplifted him. They might have helped propel him. But when it came down to that insurrection on January 6th, which it just doesn't matter anymore, I guess, Mike Pence did the right thing, right? Which is why he didn't come back. Who's going to stop him this time when you have J.D. Vance or whoever else sitting next to him praising every incompetent move that he makes? Who's going to stop him? What does that mean? I don't get the reality that we're living in right now. It's very, very, very fucking bizarro world where we're living right now. And it's, like I said, it's very concerning. Because as he attempts to centralize power, as he attempts to go over the courts, not listen to the courts, even the Supreme Court, just brushing it off. Oh, they told me to do this, whatever. He's literally doing what he wants to. The Republican Party, for the most part, is cheering him on. It's like we just don't give a fuck about due process, democracy, checks and balances anymore, right? All that shit is out the fucking window. So much so that I believe he wants to turn this into Russia. He wants to turn this into Russia. Same way Vladimir Putin rewrote the Russian Constitution to keep himself in the power. Something you can see Trump doing now. People say, oh, Javon, you're going too far. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to rewrite the Constitution, Javon. Come on, man. That's bizarre. This isn't Russia. This is America. We're white and blue. We have pride. We have a constitution and a democracy to uphold. That's what some of you saying, right? Let's listen to the president when he's asked, does he have an oath to uphold the Constitution?
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth. Some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here, and the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Is anyone in your administration right now in contact with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia to
I don't know. You'd have to ask the Attorney General that question.
It's a whole bunch of I don't knows for somebody in such a powerful position. But you heard him when he said, isn't it your duty to, when the interviewer asked him, isn't it your duty to uphold the Constitution? You heard him. He said, I don't know. That should be telling. You're crazy. that should be sounding the alarm for everybody. The current president of the United States does not know if he needs to uphold the U.S. Constitution. That's like your fucking number one job. That's your number one job. The number one thing you have to do when you're in that office is uphold the Constitution. So when I say he wants to rewrite it like Putin did for Russia, that's not hyperbole. That's not me just talking out of my ass like I'm R.F. Kennedy Jr. or somebody. That's a real sentiment. And they have a lot of similarities, him and Putin. A lot. Code of personality and strongman appeal. Both Trump and Putin sell themselves as lone savior figures. It's always them versus the deep state, versus the globalists, versus the elites. And they are the deep state, the globalists, the elites. And this strongman branding isn't just about ego, it's strategy. They both build personal loyalty that overrides institutions. What did I just say about RFK Jr.? He didn't get the job because he's qualified. He got the job because he's loyal to the president. Pete Hegseth didn't get the job because he's qualified. He got it because he's loyal to the president. You're not pledging allegiance to the Constitution when you're talking to Trump or you're talking to Putin. You're pledging allegiance to them. Attacks on the press, if you're in Russia, journalists get jailed or worse. You don't think that could happen here? How he attacks the media? CNN, fake news. MSNBC, fake news. Anybody who disagrees with me is fake news. I just listened to him say, the good parts of the economy are because of me. The bad parts are because of Biden. I don't understand why we would ever in life want a leader who takes no accountability, who can never admit when they make a mistake, who can never admit when they're wrong. And we're just all sitting here like, oh, just a normal day. Democracy is dying. It's okay because, Joe Biden was sleepy. The fuck are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we talking about? Like, it is just so weird. It is so weird. And it is so strange. So strange. Putin rewrote Russia's constitution to stay in power. Trump hasn't done that yet. But he has pressured Secretary of States to find him votes to overturn elections. Very undemocratic behavior. Both use nationalist rhetoric. For Putin, it's restoring Russia's greatness, invading Ukraine under that banner. For Trump, it's America first, make America great again. He's already talked about invading Greenland and wanting Canada. Right? A lot of similarities between the two. Right? Trump wants to be a dictator. Like Putin is a dictator. Like Kim Jong-un is a dictator. Have you ever seen those quotes that he says about guys like that? I admire them. They're very powerful. They run their country with an iron fist. The fuck are we talking about? Y'all want to live in Russia? Or North Korea? Go move there. Go. This is not where we're at here. This is supposed to be democratic values. We should be able to say what we need without fear of retribution. What the fuck? It makes absolutely no sense. And that's why it pisses me off. Now I'm in rant mode. That ain't got me in rant mode. That's why it pisses me off with the constant normalization of this shit. It doesn't help. When I see constant You know, I'm just going, when I see black folks normalizing this bullshit, it pisses me the fuck off. Sorry. But we should all have difference of opinions. Oh, we all can't believe the same thing. Yeah. Argue about what the fucking corporate tax rate is. Let's talk about what we should tax people on a corporate level. Why the fuck are we debating on if small children should get deported or not? Who were born here? Why are we debating that? Why are we debating if the Supreme Court says, hey, you have no legal bounds to do this, send this person back, and nothing happens? Why are we discussing this like this is fucking normal? When Jalen Hurts said, I'm not going to the White House, I applauded that brother. When Saquon said, I'm going to go golfing, I look at him like a clown. Why? Because this person that you're golfing with, that you're being buddy-buddy with, is actively trying to destroy your community, beloved. Right? The man wants to take federal funding away from Howard University. They want to get rid of the National Museum of African American History because it, quote unquote, shows it teaches people to hate America. No, we're just talking about the atrocities that occurred in America. Do you understand what I'm saying? Saquon. I just respect the office. What the fuck are we talking about, Nelly? Just respect the office. This is what bothers me in particular. And I ain't even want to get all rant mode like this, but fuck it, we here now. This is what bothers me in particular about these individuals. Nelly, Saquon Barkley, Snoop, who went to that fucking crypto ball in honor of Trump and got up there and DJ'd and performed. Snoop has made millions within black culture. Snoop is probably the most recognizable rapper on the planet. Meaning, if you're the most recognizable rapper on the planet, that means that Snoop Dogg is the speaker worldwide, the face worldwide for hip hop, a black culture, right? So if you made your money off of black, and black people always put their arms around you, even when you was going through murder trials and all that, black people always held you down. How do you, in good conscience, in good faith, show your support to someone who wants to destroy your community? Snoop, that's why people were mad. I mean, I didn't get why people, oh man, you gonna be upset at Snoop just being Snoop, man. White folks love him too. So the fuck what? Everything about you is black culture, street culture, gang culture, all black shit. But you show your support for this motherfucker? I expected Kodak. Hell, I even expected Ross. I don't even look like whatever. That Snoop shit bothered me. That Nelly shit bothered me. Nigga. Black people wear Air Force Ones, Nelly. All that swag shit that you was doing that was black culture that made you rich, that's black folks. So I don't understand the I respect the office shit when it's an active attack. I like Stephen A. Smith. I think he's immensely talented. I think he speaks well, and I kind of see what he's trying to do politically. This is not the time to play both sides, Stephen A. Smith. This is not the time to go on News Nation and Donald Trump calls in and say that he would make a great candidate for president. What the fuck are we doing, bro? Now, I understand Stephen A. Smith is a necessary voice. I get it. I get how he can go on Fox News and speak. Some of the time, it's not like the reverse when Pete Buttigieg goes on Fox News, right? And he gets his point across and he has common sense, good faith arguments. And people are like, man, this gentleman really speaks well. I seen Pete Buttigieg on Flagrant 2. Absolutely smoked that shit. He's a very, very good communicator. Very good communicator. So I see the play Stephen A. is doing, but all this in the middle, it's not great. It doesn't look well. Again, Stephen A. Smith, when black folks have loved you your whole career and you're showing your support for a person who wants to decimate the black community. Doesn't look good, Saquon. Doesn't look good, Stephen A. Smith. Doesn't look good, Snoop Dogg. Doesn't look good, Nelly. Doesn't look good. The shit is frustrating. The shit is aggravating. The shit makes no sense. And more than anything, you niggas do not hate white supremacy enough for me. You niggas do not hate white supremacy enough for me. You're too comfortable with it. You're too comfortable going to a crypto ball. You're too comfortable sitting up there with Sean Hannity. You're too comfortable going to the White House, going golfing. While they want to get rid of the National Museum of African American History, while they're burning black books. They tried to take Jackie Robinson. They tried to remove Jackie Robinson. Right? The Negro Leagues. This is a Negro Leagues hat. They tried to remove Jackie Robinson. Tuskegee Airmen. Black museums about civil rights. They're trying to get rid of it all. And you tell me you rich motherfuckers don't see the play, or you're just too concerned about your pockets? I'm open to having a discussion. I'm open to all viewpoints. Again, this is not a contrarian view. This is not something that we should be able to debate over. Oh, well, I can put my support here. I can put my support here. Nigga, they're trying to get rid of motherfuckers who look like you. Stephen A. pissed me off when he got up there after the election and said he regretted voting for Kamala Harris. Why? Why? And why would you say that? You regret trying to stop somebody who was trying to hurt your community? I don't like this walking in the middle fine line bullshit, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just not. You niggas do not hate white supremacy enough for me. We should be trying to eradicate that shit. Not cozy up with it. Not go golfing. Not go on Fox TV shows. Not go to crypto balls. Shit is a fucking sickness, bro. And got me mad, man. Let's take a quick break. This is The Large Picture.
I'm just trying to give them the large picture.
So recently I got to check out Ryan Coogler's new film, Sinners. And when I tell you, this joint was absolutely amazing. So my initial, and we're gonna do spoiler free, no spoilers, because I really want folks to go out there and check it out, see it as many times as you can, man, because it was, some people tried to put some doubt on this film. At first, I didn't think it was going to translate well, project well. You know how the movie industry is when it's black films. Oh, they don't do well internationally. That old way of thinking, which is not true. By the way, Black Panther broke that twice. Tons of black films broke that twice. Get Out, Black Panther, whatever. But Sinners is overperforming expectations. If I do say so myself. I think they got an estimated global total of 236. I read 236.7 million to be exact. Estimated global total. And I think that was on a $90 million budget. So they are performing phenomenally. Some data said that they can hit upwards of 400 million. I hope all of that and more. Ryan Coogler signed a great deal where he gets paid before he has to recoup. forget the exact name of the terminology, but he signed a landmark deal, a great one. So I wish all the success, everything that comes to him, that comes to Michael B. Jordan, that comes to this entire cast. This film was everything for me. I seen it on my birthday weekend. I was down in Atlanta at the Black Effect Podcast Festival. Actually, real dope time I had there. Networked with a lot of different creators. Got to meet Charlamagne. Got to meet Wayno of Everyday Struggle fame, who has his own platform now. I do it myself on YouTube. Very, very phenomenal. Got to shake hands with him, let him know that he's a big inspiration to me. Met Charlamagne the God, gave him my wife's self-help book on Amazon, Bold, Black, and Becoming, if you have not checked that out already. My wife's book is phenomenal. I just want to say that again. Bold, Black, and Becoming by Dr. Javon Berry. If you don't get a chance, check that out. But I when I was down there for my birthday weekend, I decided to go check out Sinners, right? So I'm in Atlanta. I'm going to see Sinners. And it was beautiful. I thought it would be more horror. If I have one knock, and it's not even a real knock, I just thought it was going to be more scary. At least that's what the trailers led me to believe. I'm a big horror guy. And they had some jump scares. They had some horror moments, but this film was much more than that, man. This film was much more than that. This film was drama. This film was blues. This film was a soap opera. This film touched on a lot of different African spirituality, but they did it in a way that didn't demonize it. Growing up, for me, when we talked about different African spirituality, Western civilization here in America tried to make that seem evil, right? Like it was a dark. As I've grown older, and this is like my understanding on religion altogether, I know what I believe, what works for me, what brings me comfort, right? And a lot of that is attributed to what I was raised with. But I understand now, or like I like to believe, I say I understand, but I like to believe is probably the correct way to say it. But I like to believe that wherever you draw your religious nature from, whatever you believe in, as long as it's not harming anybody, as long as it's not wicked, as long as you're not causing harm to anybody, believe what you believe in. Is it leading you on a righteous path? And when I say righteous path, I just mean being a good person. Is your religion leading you to be a good person? Then believe whatever you want to believe, because none of us know what the answers are, right? I say all that to say, I really love how Ryan depicted hoodoo and just a lot of West African different religious things in there. It wasn't seen as evil. It just seemed as normal everyday religious practices, which it should be, right? I seen an interview when he was talking about he drew as inspiration from Nigerian culture for the idea of having the twins. I believe it's called a BJ, and that's what do you call it? I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Yoruba. So there's West African Nigerian culture when they believe like two twins represent good luck or good fortune. So I believe that's where he drew the inspiration to have Michael B. Jordan play two characters. But I'm getting off topic. The film itself, phenomenal. It was shot beautifully. Like I'm looking at dark, rich tones and black people being lit, it was just lit gorgeously. Phenomenal. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite, some of the things I took away from the movie. I was very, very pleased to see my man's. So the movie is centered around one of the main antagonists is a preacher's son. The preacher's son, his father was one of the people I have a lot of respect for, Saul Williams. I don't know if you all know about Saul Williams. Saul Williams Is a very, very talented musician, poet. If you watch the show Girlfriends, he played on the show Girlfriends. He was the one who dated Lynn. He had a little beef with Common at the Poetry Slam, and he dated Lynn. And he was abstaining from sex, so they brought a whole plot line around that. He also dropped. He's also a musician. One of my favorite tracks from him that I discovered when I was younger was Black Stacy. I don't know if you ever heard that. Black Stacy, they call me Black Stacy. But anyway, that's a powerful track about colorism, how people were made to be ashamed of their darker melanin back in the day, how he was ashamed of being dark-skinned until he realized, being dark was beautiful. Look up Black Stacy if you get a chance. One more thing, one of my favorite things from Saul Williams is Bow right here. This is the Dead MC Scrolls. It's the play on the Dead Sea Scrolls. If you don't know what the Dead Sea Scrolls are, they are ancient Jewish texts that are that predate Christ, apparently, that were found in caves, that predate Christ, 3rd century BC. So that was a play, the Dead Sea Scrolls. This was a play on that, Dead MC Scrolls. It is a poetry book, very spoken word poetry, whatever. But, man, I had this a long time. I don't know if you can really see. It's kind of worn a little, it's a little, I probably had this over 10, 12 years. So, probably longer than that, man. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe over 15 years. I don't know. I had this book a long time. But I say all that to say, I was very surprised to see Saul Williams as the preacher's father. I started clapping a little bit, and then nobody in the theater clapped. So I felt I'm like, oh, damn, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't know this Black Stacy up there at the pulpit. But anyway, fire film, man. Like I said, it was just a lot of it was set in Jim Crow. One of the things I picked up off that was it was one scene where one of the brothers went into town without giving too much away. He went into town, and it was like a stark contrast on two different sides of the street. First side of the street, nothing but black folks. You walk across the street, literally walk across the street, nothing but white folks. And it just showed Jim Crow and segregation and how it was a backdrop to this entire film. Like I said, a lot of African spirituality without it being demonized is always a plus to me. A lot of themes, man. If you are really into the film, there's gonna be music themes that make you jump for joy. There's gonna be things that make you sad. Overall, it is, for me, it's a 10 out of 10. Ryan Coogler really snapped. Michael B. Jordan really snapped. My dog Z likes to say, we talked about the film after I went to go see it at ATL. He likes to say, everybody did their job. And I agree with him. Everybody did their job on this film. Absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't seen it, please go see it. Like I said, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but just overall, man, you can argue it's Ryan Coogler's best work, and he shot Black Panther. You can argue it's Michael B. Jordan's best work, and he was in Black Panther. Now, it's just go see it. Just go see it. I don't want to give more away. There are themes. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of tiebacks. There's hidden Easter eggs, especially if you're from Chicago, like I am. Very dope piece of work. I commend the brother Ryan Coogler. I commend the brother Michael B. Jordan, and just the whole cast, man. Give it one time for Simmons, man. That's right. Just a phenomenal piece of work, man. Just the themes and just the imagery, and I like how it just ties back in the midst of all these bullshit diaspora wars that's going on, right? I like how Ryan ties back to African heritage. I like how he ties back to the motherland. Very phenomenal. We're going to take a quick break. This is The Large Picture.
I'm just trying to give them the large picture.
And lastly, to wrap things up, we got to touch on the NBA. The playoffs have been absolutely crazy. Playoffs, absolutely nuts. I feel like it's damn near a throwback of the 90s going on right now. They are letting these boys play hard. A lot of fouls not getting called. Both ways, we've seen some crazy stuff in the New York-Detroit series. New York ended up pulling that out. But it was a lot of crazy calls going on in that. What else? Boston got rid of Orlando. What else was first round? Cleveland wiped the floor with Milwaukee. Cleveland wiped the floor. No. Indiana beat Milwaukee. Cleveland washed Miami, and that was a big one. Cleveland washed Miami. Indiana beat Milwaukee. First round, I told you New York beat Detroit. What's the other first round team I'm missing? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing another first round team. Indiana beat Milwaukee. Cleveland beat Miami. Boston beat Orlando. And New York beat Detroit. No, I talked about everybody. Okay, that's everybody on the East. In the West, OKC just wiped the floor in Memphis. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart. OKC wiped the floor with Memphis, so that was no contest. Who else? Denver beat out the Clippers. That took 7 games. That was a good series. Denver beat out the Clippers. Golden State and Houston just finished. That was another 7-game series. Golden State pushed that one out. And what is the other team in the West I'm missing? OKC was number 1. Who was number 2? Houston was number 2. Lakers and Minnesota. God damn it. So that's what we're really here to talk about. We're gonna talk about Lakers and Minnesota, and we're gonna talk about Golden State and Houston. Okay. So Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves wiped the floor with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the Los Angeles Lakers 4-1. Gentlemen's sweep. What the hell? I guess salute to them boys. I guess salute to them boys. And in all seriousness, salute to them boys. You know I'm a Lakers fan, but salute to them boys. They got out there. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat them 4-1. Being a Lakers fan, I wanted the Lakers to win, but I guess in my head, I knew that the defense they were running were packing the paint. They didn't have any perimeter defenders, right? Luka's a defensive liability. LeBron at damn near age 40 is not the defender that he used to be. Austin Reeves is not that great of a defender. You don't have that many perimeter defenders, right? So how do you stop Edwards and them boys, right? You can try to pack the paint like the Lakers had a high defensive rating, but a lot of that was due to their schedule, who they were playing, and it being the regular season. I remember messaging one of my guys when it was a game that Reeves, Luka, and LeBron all went off, and I was like, man, it's cool, but this ain't finna happen in the playoffs in the 7-game series. If you get matched up with even a somewhat experienced coach, they're gonna know how to pick that apart. Where's your bench? Where's your perimeter defense? Where's your 3-point shooting? What the hell was going on? Now, I will say Mark Williams not being traded, Luka having that lob threat really hurt the Lakers. They didn't have a true big. So, even though they were surging, they got the number 3 seed, right? Even though they were surging, it was kind of some exposure going on. Like I said, they just didn't have anybody on the perimeter that they could put in front of Edwards or anybody. So they packed the paint like they usually do and gave up a hell of a lot of 3-pointers. And it really wasn't a contest. LeBron looked tired. Luka looked banged up and sick. Reeves was non-existent. They said he was playing through an injury as well. They said LeBron was playing through an injury. Maybe all that's true. They're never going to say it, and they shouldn't say it. They shouldn't say it. Like let the media speculate or whatever. You out there playing, you just out there playing. You know, there's plenty of times, man, Steph ain't win no championship. He's playing through an injury. We don't bring that up. You just didn't win a chip that year. So I know LeBron is going for his fifth, trying to get his fifth. He got Luka Doncic out there sent 80 shopping to Dallas. Still don't know how that happened, but as a Lakers fan, I am happy because it seems like the future post LeBron is going to be in good hands just as long as Luka get it together. I knew Luka was a defensive liability since he's been in the league. I didn't know it was to this degree. Now, I will contend that he had to be hurt, sick or something. They was hunting that man down, blowing by him. I'm talking worse than James Harden defensive juggernaut. Y'all remember that? It was bad. It was really, really, really bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. So they took advantage of that. LeBron couldn't defend either. They took advantage of that and won in 5 games. And now they playing my dogs next season, them Warrior boys. But they won in 5 games. They got it done. Salute to them boys over there. Hey, salute to Ant Edwards, Rudy Gobert, them boys over there. Mike Conley, all them boys over there. DiVincenzo, Julius Randle. I see what y'all doing. Y'all running into some Warrior boys now. Another series that was good, Denver and the Clippers was really good. Went 7 games. But somehow, some way, my man James Harden, I like James, bro. He a lefty. He be at the lefty meetings when we be having them, the annual lefty meetings. He be there. Him, me, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. All us. We at the lefty meetings. We be up there kicking it. Obama, Jay-Z, Eminem, 50 Cent, all us at the left-handed meetings. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust, right? The boy Harden in Game 7s, in high leverage playoff moments, it's not looking good for my dog, man. I rock with him. They got to get it together. I will say this. I'm going to take it off this. And I'm just going to bring it onto one thing that annoys me about social media and coaching, right? Tyronn Lue, who I have a lot of love and respect for as a coach, I think he's phenomenal about what he's doing. He's really good at getting the most out of a little bit, right? A little bit of talent. He'll wring the rag dry, right? He'll get the most that he can. He's phenomenal. Great defensive mind. He had a bit of a blunder in this series. They was getting smacked by 30 in the Game 7. I don't know. I don't think it ended out like that, but a lot of the game we knew this game was over, right? Eric Spoelstra is another one. They got ran through by Miami. These are 2 of the most respected coaches in the league. The thing that annoys me with social media is when this happens, nobody says anything about the coaching, but a coach that I got a lot of respect for, that everybody should have a lot of respect for, Steve Kerr over in Golden State. Anytime he does something that people don't agree with, they call for his job, call for his head. Like, the man ain't been the most winningest coach in the last 10 years, right? It just makes no more sense. It makes no sense to me, and it's just how social media narratives are handled, I guess. But Steve done won more than anybody in the last 10 years, right? He should get some kind of respect. There's been a lot, oh, you ain't playing Kaminga. What are you doing? All you been, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bro, I kind of think he knows what he's doing. Now, I say all that to say, Spo got mollywopped in Miami this year in the first round. We love Coach Spo. Nobody said shit. Tyronn Lue just got murked in the Game 7. Nobody gonna say shit. Steve Kerr is advancing to the next round. And it's still people, it's just commentators and people don't like. Famous Los be getting on my nerves because I'm like, oh, he just, oh man, Steve Kerr's the most horrible coach. Oh, what are you doing for 30? I understand you're a Steph Curry fan. You might be a Warriors fan. I don't even know where you're from, beloved. I like some of your content. It be annoying the hell out of me because I be like, Joe, why he be getting over here talking to Steve like he's not the most winningest coach of the last 10 years? Right? I don't get that. I don't get a lot of you ones. Like, for the whole Warriors tenure, I don't understand. Steve Kerr is overrated. Steph Curry is overrated. Draymond Green is overrated. Jimmy Butler is overrated. Klay Thompson wasn't a superstar. And I was like, well, damn, how the hell they winning? Right? They just beat Houston in 7 games. I've seen, and it's just dope watching. It's dope watching the gravity that Steph covers. It's dope watching Jimmy get more and more comfortable in his offense. Don't forget about my Paul Gasol take. I told y'all that. Dre on the defensive end and on the offensive end last game, he did, pretty good generating offense. That was fire. He was scoring. That was fire. Got a lot of good pieces, man. Pajemski, Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield. They got some solid pieces. I love that Kerr played Looney. To give him some size against Steven Adams and Sengun. I seen Kuminga out there in spurts. Very, very, very solid Game 7 win for the Golden State Warriors. I'm probably going to do a separate video on this because I want to do some separate just standalone playoff videos. But I got Warriors in 6 versus them Timberwolves. I know y'all like Ant. I like Ant too. Ant got a lot of game. I got Warriors in 6 versus them Timberwolves. Dubs in 6, all right? We're going to get into the rest of the matchups and all that. Like I said, I'm going to do separate standalone playoff stuff. But, yeah, man, it's just been the playoffs. It's been the fire. Like I said, it's felt like a throwback to the 90s a little bit. I've really been enjoying it. Really been enjoying them, letting them play. It's been fire. So I don't know if this is something Adam Silver wants to translate into the next season or not. But the way they've been hooping, not just crying over every single foul, Muggs really out there competing is a good sign. And it's going back to NBC, so we finna get, our theme music back and all that stuff. It's going to be fire next season. So we're going to enjoy the rest of these playoffs. I'm going to be here covering it. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been another episode of The Large Picture with Javon Berry. Wherever you see this fire podcast, please like, share, subscribe. Get us out there, man, because we really trying to make it. We're doing a lot of good in the world. We are combating misinformation politically and on the basketball front, because there's a lot of basketball misinformation too. Like Steph Curry not being a point guard shields. All right, that's all we have for this week. We will be back soon. Please take care of yourself. God bless. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I will see you next week. Peace.